So this was an extraordinary speech. And unfortunately, it was on so late that most Americans didn't see it. I'm going to use 3 cuts from it. But this was a speech that just destroyed the Biden administration. Roll cut 1.
In the radical left's America, Washington taxes you and lights your hard-earned money on fire. But you get crushed with high gas prices, empty grocery shelves, and our children are taught to hate one another on account of their race, but not to love one another or our great country. Whether Joe Biden believes this madness or is simply too weak to resist it, his administration has been completely hijacked by the radical left.
That is true. There's no doubt about it. And the line about our children are taught to hate one another, this is what this critical race theory thing is all about. Okay? Because if you're a 6, 7, 8-year-old child and you're hearing this propaganda that whites oppress blacks, you can't contextualize that. And then the black children are looking at the white children. You see? That was really, really an astute point. Soundbite number 2, go.
Beyond our border from Afghanistan to Ukraine, from North Korea to Iran, President Biden's weakness puts our nation and the world at risk. And the president's refusal to stand up to China, our most formidable adversary, is dangerous and unacceptable. President Biden is unwilling to defend our border, defend our skies, and defend our people. He is simply unfit to serve as commander-in-chief.
Very strong. All right, now the China thing I'm looking at, and I'm going to try to get Graham Allison, my old professor at Harvard, come in the next couple of weeks. He's the smartest guy in the country about China. That might have been a little overstated by the governor, but I know this to be a fact, that Joe Biden is perceived to be weak. That's why Putin did what he did. I am entirely convinced if Trump had won re-election, there would be no Ukraine war. Now, that's speculation. I understand. I can't prove it. Okay? But Biden is looked upon as a weak president. Next one, go.
But in Washington, the Biden administration is doubling down on crazy. President Biden inherited the fastest economic recovery on record, the most secure border in history, cheap, abundant, homegrown energy, fast rising wages, a rebuilt military, and a world that was stable and at peace. But over the last 2 years, Democrats destroyed it all.
That's the strongest part of the speech, and it's absolutely true. Inherited the fastest economic recovery on record. Okay, that was under Trump. Remember when he left, 1.4% inflation. The most secure border in history because of the Remain in Mexico policy. Cheap, abundant, homegrown energy because Trump was so pro energy independence. Fast rising wages, they were up about 5% across the board, all right, without any inflation. A rebuilt military, and a world that we didn't have, Ukraine and China overtly threatening Taiwan. All of that is true. It's not debatable. Okay? And 2 years, gone. Okay. I was going to use a soundbite from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but it's not fair to her to follow Governor Huckabee Sanders because the intellectual gap is so huge that I'm not going to do it. Okay.